We back with another episode of Work in Progress Podcast. Probably wondering why I got this hat on. I reckon I better tell you.
It's a nice hat.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. This episode is sponsored by Not the Country You Know.
There it is. There it is.
Hey, man. So, what's up, fellas? How we doing? How we doing today? I'm glad to be in here with y'all. It's Thursday. Nah, hold on. It's Wednesday. You see what my week's going already?
You still ain't Wednesday.
It's Tuesday.
Man, I don't know what he on.
It's cool.
It's cool.
It be like that.
It do be like it. I'm working. I'm already in progress of this week. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about what you talked about last week, Lito. You said you've been working. Let me see what you've been working on. I want to see if you've been holding your values.
I thought you was going to introduce us. They might not know who we are, man.
They don't know who you are because I'm going to tell them who you are.
Okay.
You Lito.
Yeah. I've been working on this album that's just reaching the masses, reaching the public. It's called Not the Country You Know. That's why we're wearing this unique headwear. As a native Nashvilleian, I'm putting on for where I come from. I'm representing my roots in a very unique way. Integrating, involving multiple genres of the musical art form and blurring those lines. I'm doing this album with bandplay, with super producer bandplay. It's called Not the Country You Know, so, check that out. That's what I've been working on, and now it's time to share it.
It's a nice hoodie you got on there, sir.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm excited about it. Really excited about it.
What's up, Jimmy? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm tired.
Tired.
Good and tired.
What you?
I've been working out, bro.
Where?
Bench pressing and shit. They got me at the wide, nigga.
What you benching?
What
you
that
benching?
don't matter.
The bar?
Bro. That has nothing to do with this.
The bar is sick.
Yeah, what you talking about now? I'm getting strong.
Trying to be a lawyer?
They said the last episode you said you was sharpening your tools and you was getting back into the stock market. That's
That's
still
what I said
accurate?
last time.
Yeah, what you
Indeed.
said?
That's
You
exactly
don't,
what
you
you
don't
said.
know what he said.
Well, shit. Listen, today I was up 24% in my whole account. Yesterday I was up 17%. So
You want to share a little nugget with us? 24%, 17% is
What does
a
that
good
mean?
margin, brother.
Talk to us.
Oil. You're in the oil.
Nah, I'm just day trading QQQ. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means.
Sounds provocative.
Yeah.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
Nah, everything good though. Everything good.
What's up,
Everything
bro?
good.
You look good, brother.
Just appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I've been in that gym, man. Been in that gym. Yeah. Yeah. Wait till y'all see me next month. Y'all can see something. My shirt gonna be off at all times. Just wait.
All right.
Just wait.
Hopefully. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Shoot. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I did what I said I was gonna do last week. I finished up my little question studying that I'm working on for my instrument rating rather. So I gotta start taking some practice tests now and get ready to take the real tests.
What's the instrument rating?
It's not like when you get your license, how you get like your driver's license and then you can drive. Like when you get your license, you just can drive everywhere. But when you get your pilot's license, there are certain rules that you got to follow. So when you first get your first license, you can only fly when it's sunny and no clouds. So this instrument license will allow me to be able to fly through clouds and in bad weather. So
When we hopping on a flight, when you gonna take us somewhere?
that's
bro?
man, I got it on my plans, bro. So once I start getting once I get this instrument license rating done, then I'm gonna get us and we gonna all fly up on a 6-seater.
Who is we?
All of us.
You got to move it over here. I was watching
Have
you.
you rode in a 4-wheel automobile with him behind driving?
Okay.
You might want to
It's
do that.
different. Nah, it's
different.
different. It's different physics involved than talking about
For
4
sure.
wheels flying the plane.
For sure, it seems like more complex. You just said you got to get a weather instrument license.
Yeah. So
Shit,
the
they
instrument
need to do that
means-
with cars too.
Yeah, well, so the thing is that you're relying to fly on the plane solely looking at the instruments in the dash and not looking at any visual references outside. So it's you already kind of you train to do that when you're first learning to fly, but this is just when you in the clouds, when they call it when you in the soup, because you can't see anything but just white around you, and so you have to have faith that you can read your instruments.
I remember playing Microsoft Flight Simulator when we was probably like in middle school.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was hard as hell, dude. Like, so I mean, I always thought since you first got the pilot license, I was like, yeah, he did that shit. Cause I played that game about a week straight and just barely get the plane off the ground and it crashed immediately. So
remember on Grand Theft Auto they had you flying the plane. That was probably one of the
So
hardest.
what's funny though is that all the CFIs, which are certified flight instructors that I've flown with and that I've talked to, they all say that flying like on a video game actually helps you. Like obviously you're not gonna learn some specific things in the plane, but just understanding physics, how delayed the response is from the airplane to the wind and all that kind of stuff. But it does help you. It's what we call chair flying. So like you visualize what you're about to do. So like the Navy military blue shit, I can't think of the name of it, blue something. But they do flight shows around like the country.
Blue
Angels.
Blue Angels.
Yeah, the Blue Angels. So when they do like how they'll do a pre-flight together. So they'll sit in a conference room and they'll talk about the flight that they're about to do, and they're sitting in a chair going through the motions of what the pools and all that. But those things help your body to prepare. So you doing that simulator might be a little entry level to you going there.
I was gonna say, is it like that type of game or Grand Theft Auto? You think this?
Flight simulator definitely, because they have the peripherals now where it's got the flight yoke and the throttle and all that kind of stuff where you can do it. But it does help though, for real.
That Grand Theft Auto dropped later this year.
November.
Yeah.
I never played Grand Theft Auto.
Never any of them.
Nope.
That's what's wrong with you.
Nah, I never played
Yeah, you need to play
shit,
some
bro.
Grand Theft Auto. Get a little frustration out on them.
Basketball,
He probably
football,
won't leave the house.
Call of Duty. That's all I play. I never played Grand Theft Auto.
Flight.
No, you how often do you play Call of Duty?
Every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
You play games too, Los?
Yeah. I don't play every day though.
Yeah,
crazy.
I get about 30, 40 minutes in a day. Just to, you know what I mean?
The flight. I mean, we talking about flights. Something crazy before I go into what I've been working on. I seen that crazy flight stuff with the Nashville flight, man. That was insane. So
The flight getting grounded.
yeah.
Yeah, diverted. Yeah, the plane was an airplane, Southwest plane leaving Nashville. I think they were headed to somewhere in Florida, and the captain diverted it to Atlanta. And apparently it was because there was a passenger that was trying to pray for Ramadan.
But the story came out like it was
A bomb
threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how
I never
got
heard
the
what y'all talking
headline.
about. I still ain't seen that.
So what actually happened? It wasn't like a threat. I would have thought associated with all this war stuff. And
Yeah.
What I seen was a video, and they was just like it was
They
a
had the
bomb
hands
thing.
up or
Everybody
something
had
like
their
that?
Hands up, and they were saying bomb. Some don't. Some they were saying they would kept chanting some. And I mean that's the only context that we got. And we seen them escorting somebody off the plane.
Yeah.
But it was just like that was it. Then, like you said, I heard from a friend. He was like, man, he was just praying.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's crazy. I mean, you know,
That's not on the news. You said you heard it from a friend.
I heard it from a friend. But as
well,
we
yeah.
Yeah,
What's
I
been
pulled up. Yeah, I pulled a report
okay.
up that says that he was in the FBI, interviewed him, and he was released.
Yeah.
You know, and so once I read that, it really kind of put me back in the framework of how life was in the early 2000s when they first started closing off the cockpits because of 9/11 and a lot of the Islamophobia because somebody's speaking a different language than you, then somehow they're a threat to you. And it kind of it's disheartening, you know what I mean, especially with a lot of the things that's already going on in government with ICE and, you know, people that are brown getting targeted. And to have somebody pay their money to be on the airplane and observing their religion when our First Amendment gives us free exercise of religion. And it's perceived because, again, somebody's different that they somehow are a threat.
ignorance.
You know what I mean? It's just... It just can be, you know, kind of like when we were talking about last week about doing the criminal justice system and criminal, you know, being dealing with criminal cases. The system is set up to perpetuate certain narratives, and it's so easy to fit a brown passenger man speaking a foreign language with his eyes closed. Somehow he's a threat to.
Never mind that it's Ramadan and 2 billion people across the world are observing these prayer times, and
A lot of people just don't understand or even know that's going on. They so stuck in their own little world, own little box. They don't understand. They're just ignorant to it.
Yeah.
And that plays a lot of part in it. What as far as flights, do y'all have like a worst flight experience?
Worst
Yeah,
flight.
because
Let's
I be
start with the
flying.
pilot.
Yeah, I be
Let's start with the
flying.
pilot.
Do y'all want to let Los tap in before I do that, or y'all want to go ahead?
What's your worst flight experience, man?
Man, I had a flight so bad I felt like I was finna like fall out the sky on the way to St. Lucia.
Turbulence. Like
Yeah, turbulence was
yeah.
crazy. It just was like,
Was it
man,
storming?
it
Was y'all on the big regular size plane though?
Yeah.
Oh,
nah,
wow.
it was like one of them like they kind of put you on like
The
some
smaller ones
little
once you-
soul
okay.
planes when you go overseas.
Chill.
For some kind of way, you be thinking the plane super nice when you get out. You be like, man, it's a little bitty ass plane. But yeah, turbulence was crazy going over there.
Yeah, I want to know from a pilot.
Man.
Because yours might have been in the cockpit.
Yeah, because I was gonna say flying on a commercial flight, I've never had I've had bad turbulence where it was an uncomfortable flight,
Yeah.
but I ain't never been like scared just because I don't know if I should say this or not. So like in commercial flights, the seatbelt, all that shit is futile. You know what I mean? Like if you know what I mean, you're going 400 miles an hour in the air. You know what I'm saying?
What's
Like
seatbelt
inertia. Like yeah, bro. Like if that fuselage hits the ground, bro, it's over with. It's a wrap. You know. Talk to your ancestor. Pray to your people. Statistics say that if you're in the back of the plane, you have a higher chance of survival rate, but that's just because how impacts happen. The hope is that the front part will impact and the back end will break off. So. But I mean, it's just hey man, first class you up out of there. You're gonna be the first one to see your creator.
Skip the line.
Yeah, but like flying, and when I did my flight training, probably the scariest flight 2 times. One, I was flying with my instructor. We were flying from John Tune to like Louisville or Bowling Green, somewhere like that, and the radio started smoking, and so like it's. I don't know if it was short or something, but you can just see the smoke coming from it. And, you got to use your radios to communicate to other airplanes around you. You can see on the radar, but it's a little delayed. And so that was pretty scary because I was flying with my instructor to go up to Bowling Green to do a practice so I could start building cross-country time. So we had to land the plane, call the school, and was like, hey, like, what do y'all want us to do? You want us to fly it back or leave it? And then the other time
What
was...
y'all do? Y'all...
No, we flew it back.
Okay.
Yeah, we flew it back. Yeah, we just once we knew it wasn't an active fire or anything, we just cut the radio off and then we'll cut the panel off and then flew back. So it was cool. But the second time it was kind of scary was I was flying from John Tune to Murfreesboro and then I dropped off my instructor in Murfreesboro to go do some solo pattern work with because they had a control tower there. At first John Tune didn't have one. They have one now. But when he got out the door, he didn't shut the door all the way. So like when I pulled back to take off, that motherfucker's door fly open right on the passenger side.
I would have been through with this shit.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, you just you got to fly the plane, aviate, navigate, communicate.
So you leaned over and shut the door like if you was in the car.
Yeah,
You get them,
that's
got it up to
intense,
level.
bro.
Once it's level,
That's crazy.
the plane gonna stay.
crazy.
But that's the thing that you learn about when you fly planes. The planes are built to fly. 85-90% of the accidents is because of human error. It's not because of something wrong with the plane.
Yeah.
And so, like your first, at least for me, for my first flight lesson, we flew up to like 7,500 feet and just pulled the throttle all the way back to idle. And so you can see that the plane was going to float. So you don't have that fear of, I'm going to fall out the sky. Mm-hmm. And once you kind of have that confidence and you build your confidence in your skills and the instruments and you learn how to, fly. So yeah, but the door opening was, because you hear this loud, like it's just, you doing, maybe like 90, 100 miles an hour. And so, but yeah, that was the scariest flight experience.
I had an extreme turbulence. I can't even remember where I was going. The shit was so scary. Like it was just, I was like, this shit over with.
You feel like a little stomach, like you like a little ride. Like
I got to a point where I was just taking inventory.
Did the mask come out the top?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
It was serious.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was trying to make amends and for some, right some of my wrongs from within. But other than that, it was another time they just kept circling. They were like, we can't land. We gotta approach that. And I mean, it was just, they kept saying the same thing. And I'm like, this ain't normal. Right. I was feeling like, man, are we is it some kind of threat? Like, is it something y'all not telling? Because I don't see them saying like,
Yeah.
you know, our country kind of been at odds with other forces in the world for a minute now. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like, what you mean we can't land? Like,
Yeah.
y'all knew we was going the whole time.
Yeah.
And other one was not so much a dangerous situation. It was just delays. It was just like we boarded the plane and I sat on the plane
Sat
for
on the
like
runway.
3-4 hours. And I'm just like,
frustrated,
man, let
bro.
us off. Like,
can't.
you know what I'm saying?
Why can't
Like,
you let it off?
Rules, man. They be having to pay fees for stuff like that.
I mean, at that point, it was like
Yeah.
claustrophobia
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because that's just weird. Like, when you're telling us we can't get out, like, what do you mean I can't get out? I don't even want to fly. I don't want to go where we going
nowhere.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I think it was Miami. I'm like, I'd rather
Oh,
just stay in
yeah.
Miami another
Yeah.
day than
Yeah. Just let me
Shit,
out.
it's gonna be 2 a.m. when I get back. We sat on the runway for like 4 hours, and that was. I'm like, what's going on? Is the same thing? Is there something wrong with the plane? Like, this is an unreasonable delay. Like, and why y'all couldn't have just left us in the airport?
It could be a number of things. It could be maintenance with the plane, which unlikely because they would have deplaned it. But it's probably crew time and trying to find crew to get there. And like you'll notice in Europe, a lot of the planes they'll have them push the little ladders out to the plane so people deplane that way. That's because when they are at the gate, they have to pay a gate fee. And so it's cheaper for the airline if they don't pay for that. So like in Miami especially, those are like, it's like money for the airport. It's time clock. So it's like, here's your window to get here, get these people in, get up out the way. If you miss that or whatever, we going to have to resequence you. And that's just going to be at whatever peril of the schedule for the day is. So that's a lot of the reason why they be having those delays.
What about you?
Man, I was on a flight coming from Atlanta to Nashville. Like, I had just left my brother's wedding in Tampa, flew from Tampa to Atlanta, and now we're on this 45-minute flight from Atlanta to Nashville. We get up. I took a nap, actually. I think I just took a little shut-eye, and I heard a loud boom. And I get up, and pilot come on. He said, hey, we finna turn around and go back to Atlanta. I'm like, the fuck is going on? I wasn't like scared of nothing. That's what made me worry. Like, why am I not scared?
Yeah.
But as soon as they landed, like 5 trucks come and just, you know what I mean?
Oh, that was on the runway?
Yeah. I
Oh,
was like, what the
man.
hell going on? But apparently a bird flew into
Into
one
the
of
engine. Oh, yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I didn't know birds be up that goddamn high.
Yeah.
But yeah, at 45 minutes, we was 20 minutes in the air. Like, we was halfway to Nashville. They made us turn all the way back around.
That's crazy. That's crazy. They wouldn't let you, I mean, safety first, but
yeah, that shit was scary.
I was gonna ask you, how long is a flight to Bowling Green or to Murfreesboro? Like, from
5
that's
minutes. Drive.
Murfreesboro's a 30-minute drive. How long is that flight?
it depends. Like a lot of it is
Drive.
You got
you got a
routes
certain
take.
way that you got to fly. So
Yeah.
like our airspace, which is crazy to me from the time that I've been flying. So I got my license in 2018. So the first airport I've trained at didn't have a tower, which meant like we had what's called a CTAF, which is we just communicate to each other on a standard radio. Like everybody just talks. Like you say, hey, my tail number, I'm at this runway, I'm about to take off, and I'm going to be in this area. And you just have to listen to everybody. That's called uncontrolled airspace. Smyrna is controlled. They have a tower there, so there's control. So the air traffic control tells people when they're gonna leave and do all that kind of stuff. The problem when you talk about time, like driving from one point A to point B is like that's the time that it takes. But if you are flying visual flight rules, it probably take 25, 30 minutes to fly around. But you have to fly around Nashville's airspace because our airport has so much traffic, being Nashville, and you can only fly into their airspace if they give you permission or if you communicate with them first. So that's what makes it take longer because you can't do like a direct straight line. You got to fly around everywhere.
Chicken.
But like flying to Bowling Green, like like an hour drive from here, it's probably like 30. It's not as much shorter time because the distance is closer, but the further the way that you go. So like if I tell you like driving from here to Destin is a 5.5 hour, 6 hour drive. Flight wise, it'll be 2.5 hours in the plane that I fly. But there are other planes that fly faster. Like they got Lear jets that'll fly the same speed as a commercial jet. It's just much more expensive to fly. Yeah, you can.
That's cool. All right.
What about your
What you been
progress?
working on? Yeah, that's what I want to know, Los.
Let me get into it.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me fix my hat and make sure y'all can see me.
Not the country, you know.
All right, make sure y'all know. All right, cool. So, progress, man. I said I was gonna do really good in the race. We did the St. Patty's Day race, right? I did 30 last time, 30:08. This time I did like 29:35.
That's progress.
So that's progress.
Man, that's wonderful. Sub 30. Congratulations,
30,
brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start working out a little bit more so I can, you know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
yo, I told you I had to slow down. This nigga was trying to keep up with me. He was trying to run past me in the first mile. I said, hey, bro, you better slow down. You about to burn out real quick.
Man, that course had so many hills.
It
man.
did.
It was.
serious.
It was
You
healing.
about to burn out.
That might have been the most difficult.
Elevation wise.
Nah,
the most
that
difficult course.
Predators one was
You think so?
Nah,
Nah,
I
I was
like
cool with
that
that because it was
one.
like a constant upslope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the reason why I felt this one was more difficult is because it had more sets of inclines.
Yeah.
The incline was higher in the Preds, but to me, ending on a decline makes the race a little bit like less challenging.
This one ended on a decline though.
Man, then it went
Not
back
that last
up.
little hill.
Yeah,
Not
back
the
up.
finish line.
I was
It
like,
went down, but it went up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said, man,
no,
what
it did
kind of-
not end on a decline. That's why I was in that grass when it was over.
Man, that was crazy right there.
It had like three solid
big
sets
hills,
of
bro.
like straight incline,
Yes.
and like we're saying, it ended on one. So I mean, that's 3 each way.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
actually 6.
'Cause what I was gonna say,
we went halfway and turned around.
That last little leg when it goes downhill and it goes back up, like I was trying to speed down through that, boy. I was coasting and caught that uphill. Ooh.
Nah, I mean, because we went like a mile and a half out and turned around. When we turned around, I instantly was like, shit. Like,
go
could
right there.
think about what it took to get there. Because I'm like, we got to do the opposite.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
man, we started off the race going down here. I was like, which we didn't start. The start line and the finish line wasn't at the same spot.
Right.
But I still was like, man, we got to go up 3 hills. We
that's
did it this way.
Yeah.
I'm like, man. So what you said you did at the end, I was like, hell nah. Like when I was going down
I
that
ain't
hill,
think
I was
about
like,
it.
man, I gotta go. What goes down,
Yeah,
gotta come back up.
Yeah.
But the funny thing, cause I was ahead of him over there. So
Man, listen, I had sex twice. I had sex twice.
morning of the
before,
race?
Yeah, before the race. So like,
we ain't had no wages. So, well, that wasn't what I was saying. Was the funny part. But while we was out there, you know, like right before the race, a few people, you know, spotted me, spoke to me, chopping it up, and so while I'm running, I'm keeping a good steady pace. I'm trying to pace these hills and whatnot. So we about a mile out. It was a dude like looked like us. He came running beside me. Like, keep in mind, I'm only racing the clock and racing myself when I'm out there. I'm just running my own race. So he's passing me like, come on, Lito, you let me catch you. I caught you. I said, go on, bro. Good job, bro. Like, you know, I couldn't give a damn. But we like a mile out, so we got 2 miles left. So as he passes me, I'm like, shit, I wasn't thinking about this. I'm just trying to keep my pace, and I'm thinking about these hills.
Mm-hmm.
Man, by the time we turned around, and like I said, I was like, shit, I know what we up against. About a half a mile, maybe a minute later, a minute or so later after he said this to me and passed me, I look up, we on one of them hills coming up the hill. Man, my nigga was walking. I said, no, come on, man, bring your tough ass home. Like, cause I'm tripping. So, you know, now we running side by side, cause it's still like the camaraderie.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, nah, bro, don't walk. Like, literally, he was just talking shit to me. So we running beside each other. He keeping up. I could hear he's gassed though. So then we hit that other hill.
oh, wait.
Man, we got to the top of the
You
hill.
talking about that hill before you go into the tunnel?
Next to the
that
last
tunnel?
hill. I think it might have.
Where you come out
Before
that tunnel, you got to go
Yeah,
up
it
that
was
tunnel.
right before
That-
the tunnel. Man, we got to the top of the hill. My nigga just
Oh, wait.
got over to the side. Like, Man, I was laughing so damn hard,
that
dude.
shit.
I'm like, yeah.
If you don't know what
you can't
you're
talk
doing,
shit at mile 1 of a 3-mile race.
That shit. I almost threw up again at the end of the race. Goddamn, I was over there,
I
out
see you
to
over
the
there.
side.
Yeah, I see you over there in the cut.
It almost came up, and she recording the whole goddamn thing. Like, man, you hit that camera on my face.
Man, shout out to the lady that gave us the medals, man.
Shout out to her, goddamn it.
I earned mine.
I did.
You did. You got
you
a
got
place
first-
medicine. First place.
First
I got
place.
first place in my age group.
I was 4 seconds out of third place. That shit had me high.
Yeah,
Came
you
in
got it.
7th place. Shute was the first Q to win.
Yeah, I finished. I committed to completing it, and I completed it.
I'm not
That's
having
what's up.
sex next time. So next time, I'm gonna improve my time a lot. I was bullshitting.
Man, I realized I took for granted like being in shape and getting out of shape. Like, cause when we was running like 6-7 months ago, in the summertime, it was easy to run 30-40 miles a month. Like, it wasn't no problem.
Yeah.
And my pace was a lot better. And then I just stopped running because it got cold. And now trying to,
Now you gotta keep running.
man, because I was like trying, like even in running in between the 2 races that we did, like I was like, damn, I'm doing a recovery race and I'm like 5 minutes slow. I'm like, golly, bro, like I gotta do some sprints. I gotta go run some hills or do something.
I ain't ran.
Yeah, them hills will get you right.
Yeah, them hills will get you right. But I fucked my knee up. My knee been swollen ever since. So
You fucked your knee up having sex?
nah, running, man, running the hill coming down here. I was running too out of
You
control.
talking about it had the sign on it. I knew it was gonna be serious when it had the handicap sign for the wheelchair, like telling them not to go down there. Did y'all see that sign?
I ain't see that sign.
I saw the hill.
I seen the hill. I ain't see that sign.
That shit was serious though.
That's
but
hill serious, man.
I just wanted to keep a steady pace, and I did. I checked my Strava, and I kept like a steady pace. That's all I was trying to do.
See, I sucked ass, bro. My first mile was like 9 minutes. Pause. Yeah, thank you. It was like 9 minutes. Nah, I don't. It was
I
like
do
9
that,
minutes.
yeah.
Nah, bro. No,
Sometimes you gotta do it.
Note made. Thank
Fresh
you.
out the shower.
Make a note. Note made, Kevin. Please put this nigga's thoughts.
Ain't no
Hey,
wrong-
so you
ain't
see
no
the
wrong
hats
with
we
it,
got on the table, right? These are from the race. We took pictures in some of these hats. I got the little flip leprechaun hat.
Oh,
The
geez.
Shamrock.
Clothes. Shout out to the clothes. And then we got my man. He got the cowboy.
The
Not the country you know
The
for St.
country,
Patty's Day.
St. Patrick's Day
You know
collab.
it.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to the followers. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been checking in, man. Right now, we got about 1,800 Instagram followers. Help us get to 2,000 once this episode drop. You know what I'm saying? Go follow us, especially if you on YouTube and you subscribe and you ain't following us on Instagram. Convert over. Make sure you follow us on both. You know what I'm saying? You might end up, finding out something you ain't even know about. Or you might see some content that ain't made it to YouTube yet. Shout out to the TikTok followers. Shout out to everybody on podcast following. Also, if you on Apple Music or Spotify, any of those, go and rate us. Give us a 4-star rating. Let us know that you rocking with the podcast. Put something in the chat. Let them know that this your favorite podcast, because the more that you rate the podcast, the more people find it in their algorithm. So tell your people, especially if they rock with the team, send it, share it. We talking about some really good stuff. And I've been watching the YouTube. I've been looking at the comments.
They watching it now.
Yeah, I am. That's what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the last episode, Reasonable Doubt. So if you ain't checked that one out, go check it out. Shut up, man. I ain't watching it.
You said you watching Reasonable Doubt.
Nah,
On Hulu?
Reasonable Doubting. The
Oh,
last episode.
Okay. Shout out to Ronald Jamar Dowdy.
Yeah, man. So
Voting is April 15th. That's when it was.
Early voting starts April 15th.
Early
yeah.
voting starts April 15th in Nashville. And
yeah.
Make sure you register.
Make sure you register. Do
You
all the
gotta
good
do
things. Hey, before they register though, the members. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the members. If you don't know what a member is, go find out what a member is on our YouTube. We giving early access to all the new episodes. You can see some exclusive content. So shout out to the members. Go subscribe right now. Go join it right now. Shout out to everybody that's been subscribing, and shout out to the people that's been using the logo in the chat.
Yeah. It's
If
like
you
a custom
wondering how to
logo.
get that
You gotta
logo
be a
in the
member.
chat, go subscribe, man.
Yeah.
Go subscribe.
Appreciate
Fellas.
that.
Magic City.
Yeah.
I ain't never been.
Never?
I ain't never been. I had a bad
You ain't
experience.
never played Grand Theft Auto. You ain't never played
I've been
Magic
to strip
City.
club
I mean,
one
never been to
time.
Magic City.
I've been to strip club twice. I performed in one of them. Like, it's comedy. I did comedy. No,
He had to
I
clear that up
I
real
did
quick.
comedy in one of them. And I was in my drawers
you
too.
You was stripping
I did
and doing comedy
I
at
did
the
comedy.
same.
I
That's a
stripped
bad
down.
That's
boy.
crazy.
I'll send y'all the picture, the
nigga's
video.
a
Nah,
hater.
I don't
I'm
think
saying,
I don't think
No,
no.
you was in your drawers
no,
and you.
sir.
I seen y'all the
We're
pictures.
gonna,
of
we,
crazy
we're not
two
gonna put this on
sentences.
Nah, I
camera.
wanna
We're
see
not
that.
putting this
Well,
on.
Hell, man,
anyway,
take me out the group
my
chat. Niggas doing that shit.
my first time at a strip club, it was in Tampa.
Magic
my
Mike.
my brother's
Bachelor party.
bachelor party,
Okay,
and it was in Tampa, and
I know a stripper from Tampa.
man, shit, me
Sorry,
too.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, probably. But nah, man, it wasn't a good experience. Like, gal was sitting there dancing on me, and but I seen her dancing.
It wasn't. Hold on. It wasn't a good experience.
It was. I didn't have fun. Like,
Okay.
I just think it's like just unsanitary. So, gal was she was sitting over there dancing. She dancing with my cousin, somebody I don't know, and I saw her stick her titty in his mouth. But then she came over to me and kept trying to put her titty in my mouth. I'm like, nah, bitch, I just seen that go over there. You can't. We're not doing that.
I ain't never had a titty in my mouth.
And she tried to force her titty in my mouth, and like, but everybody watching me, so I didn't want to look like no hoe. So
You obliged.
yeah, I leaked the titty. She had a nipple ring, everything. It was nasty. And
Tastes like metal, like a key.
I ain't like it, bro. But I feel like
Back of an
I
earring.
was forced to suck a titty, and I ain't appreciate that.
That was your worst strip club
That's
experience.
the only time I'm not going back, bro. I feel like all of them be like that.
So the reason why you said Magic City is because Atlanta. Let me just bring this back in for the
Please,
viewers.
realist,
Because the Atlanta Hawks was gonna have a Magic City night. In,
Magic City Monday.
Magic City Monday at the Hawks, and I don't know what the play. You know the player's name that didn't or whatever.
Luke, y'all
Corbett,
got computers. Luke Cornett or something like that.
I ain't make that note. I just made the.
Yeah, I googled Luke Cornett.
Cornett.
He don't
yeah.
even play for Atlanta.
Or
Is he
Orlando.
playing the team that was gonna be
He
there?
play for the Spurs.
No, he don't
Oh,
play
wow.
for either team.
I thought that he was
gonna
gonna be
in the
there.
building.
Okay, I didn't realize.
He just
Luke
the fun
Cornett.
police.
We ain't even having no fun. We ain't even having no fun.
Track 10.
So what were they
or
trying to
12.
highlight though? Like,
Yeah. So what the event was, for those unfamiliar, Magic City is maybe the most popular strip club, one of the most popular strip clubs in America. They're known for this legendary Monday night, and as someone that's lived in Atlanta, I think you can speak to how much of a pillar of Atlanta culture that place is, and
Indeed.
so I think the night by design was supposed to celebrate culture. They're playing Orlando Magic too, so I think it was a play on
with the
words
Magic, yeah,
and
yeah.
playing the Magic on a Monday, so it's Magic City Monday. A lot of the marketing, I think, centered around wings.
Lemon
It's
pepper
like
wings.
even Lou Will, the
Lemon
homie,
pepper.
shout out to Lou Will, when he was in the bubble, he supposedly left the bubble to go get some lemon pepper wings. And I mean, I think that was a big story on all the sports station, sports talkers, running joke since. And Atlanta is very embracing of hip hop culture. I think we talked about the 50-year hip hop anniversary, how the Falcons embraced that and had all those artists from there. It's the dirty South. You could say the Mecca, I guess, in the South on certain levels of hip hop culture and
Yeah.
maybe black culture at large. And so the Hawks, much like the football team, they embrace it. And it was on until people started protesting, speaking out about it, and then it got canceled. So what's y'all take on that? How y'all feel about that?
when I first heard about it, I didn't think it made sense with the NBA being it's a family friendly, company or whatever. I didn't think it made sense. Yeah, they talk about the wings and the food and shit, but when you type in Magic City, you're not looking for no motherfucking wings. You looking for some ass. And
titties.
yeah, and titties, pierced titties and shit. So that's why I didn't see. I thought it was doomed from the start. I didn't think it was ever gonna work because it just.
I was gonna work.
Yeah, it was for who though?
I'm with you.
You know, so it just
Okay,
didn't. It
so
didn't
from
make
the
sense.
jump, you felt a way about it.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't. It don't even make. It didn't make
So
sense.
you with Luke?
No, I'm not with it. I mean,
Yeah,
kinda,
he is.
kinda, sorta. Like it just
Yeah.
didn't make sense. Like if I got a family friendly coming, I'm not finna, I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna cross
You
brand.
on
I
the
disagree
other
with
side
you.
of- yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
I
say.
disagree with you. I think that again, from somebody that has lived in that culture, that's not out of the norm thing. Like if you were in your early 20s and in college, and y'all say we going out tonight, you may go to the strip club, and it ain't just like niggas that's in the strip club. It's bitches in the strip club too. Like it's not like it's like a regular club. Like it's a club, but it's bitches on. It's
First thing
people
I said was
dancing.
family. This is a family oriented.
I disagree. I don't think them like that's all a front to me. That's just commercial. Like even the whole aspect of trying to market to women is a new phenomenon for all the leagues. So that's a cop out to have a PC moment to be like, hey, we're clean PR, because it's okay for you to sell gambling. It's okay for alcohol. It's okay for sex, drugs. It's okay for all of those advertisements to be on the court, in the court, in the game, in the commercials. But then you want to draw your line at this cultural club that's been there for 30, 40 years. Like it's not like this is a new thing. This is when I was in high school, which is in 99 to 2003. So I know about that from 23 years ago, and it sustained itself. The only time it's really had a major name change is when they changed for Future's 35th birthday. They changed it to Future City instead of Magic City. You know what I'm saying? But like people in Atlanta know, and the other thing too is there are legitimate people, and some people may not believe this, there are legitimate people that will go to Magic City for the food. Not for the entertainment, not for the music. They gonna go order their wings and leave.
That's what he was for.
And so that's where that's where I think that it's a disconnect of, and I don't disagree, like because I got daughters, so it's like
If they ask you
obviously
what's Magic City, what you gonna say?
I'm gonna tell them it's an adult entertainment club.
Okay.
How you feel, Los?
You ain't got no kids. How you feel?
I ain't got no kids.
Yeah, we all got daughters, so that's
Yeah, y'all do all got daughters. That is crazy. I don't know how to feel about it because
You been to Magic City?
I've been to Magic City.
Okay.
I went to Magic City with my mama. This is pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it is.
Well,
Family.
damn. Family you know the story. Family affair right
Never
there.
mind. Yeah, goddamn, buddy.
So I mean, but if I can't bring Sexy Red to the black market, they can't bring Magic City to.
Who said you can't bring Sexy Red to the black
It's a
market?
family friendly event.
Oh, you said you can't bring
Yeah, it
Sexy
don't make
Red.
sense.
You run the black market. Woo. Here.
But I want it. If you want it.
Don't bring Sexy Red to the black market, bro.
Yeah, if you bring Sexy Red to the black market, I'm not bringing my daughter to the black market. And I brought my daughter to the black market last week. So, we got to work on her black history info because it was Beyonce on the thing. She said, "Is that Sexy Red?"
Oh,
I was like, I mean, I got it. Yes, it was.
Damn.
Or is Glorilla? I was like, all right,
wow.
we gotta work on that. All right, you don't have an opinion about whether it's appropriate or not, because
it is a fine line. I think also I think it goes back to like he said the PR. I think it goes back to like what they stand for, and like for a moment in time it was gonna happen. Like everybody down with it. Like still some of the stuff are happening. Like some of the elements, they got T.I. still performing at halftime. They still got lemon pepper wings being sold. So like some of the elements are still happening, but you're probably not gonna get that hoodie that you bought. And whatever other element,
the merchandise,
or just the name, quote unquote, I guess.
yeah,
but
that's sorry.
yeah,
That part, I mean, they still have some of the staples that make it what it like represented. But I mean, we talking business. Like that entity, that franchise, they was about to cross market
and get
it's 20,000 people in there.
Yeah.
No telling how many hoodies,
Yeah.
would have pushed their brand forward. And now they kind of take the hit on it. Okay, I'm torn.
Well, I was gonna
I'm
say the other thing.
conflicted.
One other thing I was gonna say too about it is look at also for Atlanta culture. Like I think you definitely know as an artist. Like strip clubs also break songs. Like and that was a big thing that Magic City did
Talking
in
about
Atlanta
jobs.
specifically. Like, well, I mean definitely jobs, but I'm just saying like musically in Atlanta, those clubs would dictate what the sound was.
what does that have to do with the NBA organization?
Because there's the Atlanta Hawks, and that's what they wanted to do. That's their franchise. They
That's
wanted to
a part
highlight
of
the
it.
culture in their city. That's their choice to do it. It wasn't the Hawks that canceled it. It was the NBA.
Right.
Because the Hawks put out a statement. It was like, hey, we sorry. We respect the NBA. We still value, essentially, we value the culture.
That's what I was going to say, like, the conflict. I'll put these on to be silly, but
I thought this because you about to tell us a story about a strip club.
Nah, I can look. I'll tell you. All right, where I'm conflicted, like you said, the parenting aspect. Like I just took my daughter to see the Harlem Globetrotters a few weeks ago. Basketball, the product is similar. That's more in line with like the circus. It's more exhibition than actual like
Basketball.
competitive. The art of sport. Like she did leave there like I want to play basketball. I imagine because the product seems so fun and wholesome. I don't think she understands that in actual basketball, people don't run in the stands and throw water on people and all of that. Right. But to the point of it being a family-friendly product, like taking her to a Hawks game or any team's game, it's very parallel. You know what I mean? You're going to the same place for, in general, the same thing. Now, because it's not an exhibition, I want to say a spectacle in its own way, it's not a performance, it's actual competition, they might break out into a fight at the game, which is not like conducive of the fan-friendly atmosphere, but that just come with the game, you know, and the competition. So I'm like, I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, would I have taken her to Magic City Monday? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, because she might ask, what is this? Okay, so I'm like, I can kind of see where it could err on the side of not being appropriate for the programming or the brand. The same way the NBA cracked down on their fighting shit to take that out in the 80s and then when people was doing cocaine, it was like you get a lifetime ban for cocaine. They had the harshest punishments for fighting. Where in hockey, you ain't even gonna get suspended for fighting.
Right.
You throw a punch in the NBA game, you know, niggas got suspended for the rest of the season.
Right.
You know, but there's that. So I'm like, all right, they have a brand to protect. I get it. I took exception to who complained about it and how that was able to move the needle. It was like one white player spoke out and shit just shut down. You know what I mean? It's the same. Because I went back and I thought about Allen Iverson with the dress code. Just because he was cool,
That was different.
it made it like, nah, y'all need to wear suits. Button this shit up. Like, you dressing like rappers. Y'all look like thugs. Like, there's always been a layer of, although the NBA, well, now there's more foreign players, there was a time the NBA was more than 80% black. And it's like, but we need to control that shit. We need to, you know what I'm saying, kind of put a leash on it. And this kind of felt like that to me. Because it reeks of like appropriation, cultural appropriation, and who's to appropriate what's appropriate, so to say. On the flip side, it's like, well, like you said, what does it have to do with basketball because it's about culture? The other place where I'm torn, I knew about the Laker girls, the cheerleaders, the scantily clad cheerleaders, maybe as much as you can get away with in terms of wardrobe and otherwise, as much as I knew about the Showtime Lakers. You know what I'm saying? It's like a parallel product. Y'all don't have a problem with putting these women out there on the floor doing every time out, shaking their ass, and I mean it ain't the same thing they doing in Magic City, but it's you're still selling sex and sexuality and all of that. That's a part of the product too. But it's almost like, nah, this too black. This too much of like y'all shit. When we say you can do this, I mean, because think of like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and all like that. These are brands within the brand that is like, oh, it's okay as long as you know. Literally like, oh, you can't weigh more than this. There's a body type. There's, like you said, where's all this women rights and when this is just as exploitive, I would say, So there's always like an equal opposite or yin and yang. I understand the argument. I guess I'm somewhere like neutral, and because I'm that person that feel like if you don't want your kid listening to the vulgar music, it's your job as a parent to steer them away from that or to educate them on what it is and why they shouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of those people at them games probably don't know what Magic City is. They going because they going to a regular game, and then they just happen to learn like, what is this? You know what I mean? Now you just opening the door to a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was appropriate. I don't think gambling is appropriate. I don't think what I mean. I don't think that shit. I don't think that's cool either. You know what I mean? So I'm just the same across the board. But like that I didn't think that was cool.
Yeah, because you could be at a game, somebody drunk off their ass, and you know what I'm saying? It's bringing your kid into that space.
Yeah.
you know?
I don't think none of that's cool.
There's a lot of people. I seen a lot of people pushing. Especially trying to get it stopped. I seen, like we said, the Luke Cornett's. I seen
I seen D1 chime in on it.
D1 chime in on it. He had his opinion, and he reached out to a certain people to get it, get his opinion heard. So it was a lot of people, that were on the other ends of the spectrum for it. Whether it was him and JD going back and forth for it's just been a wild couple weeks in sports. And I'm gonna shift gears, especially with sports. I'm wearing this hat because I am a Cashville Cowboy,
Yeah, man.
but I also am a Dallas Cowboy fan.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay, brother. I
Thoughts
was
and
born
prayers.
into it. Not new to it. I'm true to it.
So you keep up with your boys?
Dallas Nation.
You been keeping up with your boy?
The jokes have been funny. They said my boy allergic to rings.
Hey.
Who that?
Dak Prescott. So if in the news he what did he do?
In the news, Dak Prescott and his fiance called off their engagement at their joint bachelorette party. Celebration
Sound like
weekend.
some
They were like
movie
together. And the rumors are reporting that he asked her to sign a prenup. And she said no. She wouldn't sign it. And he's worth, I think, reportedly between 240, 250 million, almost a $250 million, quarter B.
Is it? How?
Endorsements.
Endorsements.
And Dallas pays him
pays
They
for
keep paying them
mediocrity.
to not win.
Yeah, just get us to the hope
got a
where we can
mediocrity
smell a
clause.
playoff and we'll give you another contract.
Dallas is America's favorite team.
Well,
Which America? Don't answer that.
America.
But yeah, they say you're allergic to rings because the man. I can understand that.
A joint bachelor and bachelorette party, it was doomed from the start.
Yeah, that was
Wow.
stupid.
He couldn't even go to the strip club and suck no pierced titties.
Get forced to suck a titty. Already sucked on titty.
Have you explored that evening in Tampa in therapy, bro? That sounds traumatic, bro.
Nah,
you got
well-
a secondhand titty, a pierced titty.
secondhand titty. And that was peer pressure to even lick that titty because everybody looking at me. I ain't want to look soft. You feel me? So I
Pierced
had to-
pressure too.
Yeah. I ain't with all
crazy.
that secondhand shit, bro. Don't want no wet titty in my mouth. My bad.
Right?
Look at them. Don't look at us.
So Dak allergic to rings,
Yeah, Dak is allergic to rings.
wedding rings, championship rings. That's the story.
That's the
How the
story.
hell the Cowboys always make it in the news cycle and without doing shit?
PR.
Man? Do they have any free agent signings, anything notable? Or we just,
Nah, but the Titans have spent the most money in free agency
yeah, it
already.
is
Yeah,
tighten
it
up.
is.
Yeah, they spent over 200, I think.
That stadium coming together too. I rolled by yesterday. I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
it
it's
look crazy.
it's like
Yeah.
the downtown high rises. It's just
Yeah.
popping
Popped
up.
up.
Popping
Yeah.
up.
That shit look
I
crazy.
signed up for the race like a month ago. What's the hot chocolate 5K we did?
Mm-hmm.
And I swear the stadium was nowhere near the progress that it is now. Like the side facing the bridge,
Mhm.
it looks nearly done. on
When it's
that
supposed to be
side.
complete?
Next season, 27, I think.
Okay.
Damn,
That's yeah.
Shout
Seems
out
like
to-
a far away, but it ain't no time, huh?
right. Shout
Yeah,
out to
the-
Tennessee Titans.
Shout out to the Titans, man. Hey, yeah, shout out to the Titans. Holla at your boy this year.
We got Franklin Myers, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our defensive line gonna be like
I
that.
don't care. I mean, I care. Shout out to the Titans.
Man, that came out quick too,
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
You heard
Yeah,
that?
I love the Titans. Shout out to the Titans.
I'll rock with the Titans.
I do too. My favorite home team. All
I
right.
thought you was a Predators ambassador.
I rock with the Titans and the Predators. I
Okay.
rock with all Nashville teams
Evenly.
except for the
He didn't
team,
mean
even the
that
team
favorite.
that be hating on me. They be hating on me, but it's cool.
Who be hating on you? Who be hating on
Who
you?
be hating on you?
We ain't doing that.
Yeah,
I
they
wanna-
they might rock with me, man.
Yeah, they rock with him. I'm trying to get back in good graces, but they got cut the chip.
We gonna get it together.
Yeah, walk me in there. Anyway, not the country you know, Jack.
Here it is.
Here it is. I got the real. It's a snake in my boot. I think I could have lasted in the Western days. I think I would have been a sharpshooting bad boy. It's been. Alright. Anyway, this album, man, I'm excited. You know, I'm super excited. I went and got me a hat made the other day at GG Pip. It's a bad hat. You like it?
Yeah.
Is that a real match?
It's a real match. You want to check it out?
Nah, I want.
I'm gonna have to slide down there and give me some custom work done, man.
I'm gonna go. Where is that at?
Look, right there in next to Pinnacle, the
venue.
venue. Yeah.
Okay, bet.
Yeah,
Okay,
they got me right. Shout out to Whitney and
The
Grace.
Pinnacle.
Yeah, they got me right. I told them I had to come to your listening party and the album release party at Barstool. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, the listening part is at the National Museum of African American Music. Then after that, we going to Barstool
First time.
downtown.
I ain't never been to Barstool either.
So I'm
I got to figure that out. You know, my partner likes to turn in early, as we experienced at the last show.
For sure.
yeah, it's but moving into that space, it's even cool with this project. I haven't the museum, the National Museum of African American Music. Shout out to the staff there for embracing me with this event. We plan to do some more things this summer for Black Music Month, but these are some of the first events that I've hosted or been a part of right there in the heart of like the touristy part of Nashville. Like it's on Broadway. It's on the 500 block of Broadway, which is where Assembly Food Hall, where a lot of the, I guess you could say, legendary, a long time like honky tonks like Robert's Western World and Tootsie's.
Yeah.
And like some of these spots have been there forever. And now a lot of the prominent country singers have bars in that same space. They got what they call Whiskey Row. And otherwise I know Morgan, Jelly Roll, I think Post Malone, like a few people have
Dirks Bentley.
there's several. I mean, Florida Georgia Line had one. Like there's a lot of, they have bars named after them and otherwise. So to be able to play 2 events in one night in that space after really kind of never being, I don't want to say accepted there, but I never been on the business side of it. I could go there on my own free will as a patron,
Right.
or as a guest, but to be able to host events there is dope. Supported this album, yeah. I mean, Not the Country, we were on Grand Ole Opry Radio on the largest country station
That's big.
in the country. I think 6:50 a.m. It
650
reaches
WLAC. Yeah.
There it is. It reaches like cross country, and playing on network TV here was a huge thing. Our NBC affiliate WSMV, they welcomed me and Bandplay and Robin Raynell on the NBC Today in Nashville show. So this level up of sorts and doing different types of business, I just come with the intention of it all. I don't like to view it as reinventing myself, but I do feel like it is moving with a certain intention and attention to detail with what I'm doing in range. Because for the last couple of years, I've been working in the cutting in the shadows in the writing space, writing country music, co-writing, working with some prominent, accomplished writers that welcome me in. Some of them, shout out to Grady Block. He invited me into some writing sessions purely because he was a fan of the music that I created. He grew up on my music, he and a bunch of his peers, and he was shocked that I would have been willing to sit in a country music writing session. Quiet as Kept is something I've been wanting to do for 10, 15 years. And to finally get that entry point, and it's just been, it wasn't immediate. The first placement I got was like almost a year and a half after we wrote a bunch of songs. But one of them was placed, it was a Marshmello single, a song called Better Man Than Me. Hudson Westbrook was the vocalist, but it's Marshmello single, a country single. So for literally my entry point to be with one of the biggest EDM DJs in the world and reach an audience like that, obviously that's a huge resume builder and kind of immediately made people respect, me being in this space, and the rest of it is clockwork. Shout out to Bandplay. He produced Big X The Plug's album, and it's very, very much country leaning.
Yeah.
It's got a who's who of guest features and otherwise from the country space. And Ben and I were already working on the album together, but it was gonna be called Legendary Status. And with both of us making these moves in the country world at the same time, we just put it together and was like, man, I've been doing this. Like, hey, let's try to work on that together.
Yeah.
And I mean, probably a month of that, and we got this project, which is not a country album, but there are a few collaborations with country artists. It's some songs where I explored even vocal range on things. I work with R&B, like a neo soul, sounding hook, a reggae vocalist.
I haven't heard. I was gonna say when I heard that song, I was trying to remember. Like I don't think that I've ever heard you have a sound like that. And
Which one?
The reggae sound.
That was
Okay.
And
for sure.
It's called God Mode.
God mode. Yeah.
Shout out to Extreme, featuring Extreme, who's from Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
We're traveling over there to shoot the video top of the month. And
Did you mention so you've also within the project normally you do like a visual that kind of ties into it. Are you doing the same thing with this as
for
well?
the project at large?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a documentary. There's a documentary about the project, and it shows some of the making of the project, shows some studio sessions, gives you some insight there, but at the same time, it gives you a guided tour around Nashville and some pockets of subculture, primarily the country that I know, the Nashville that I know as a native Nashvilleian. And I highlight some prominent black businesses, with the black-owned businesses that are near and dear to me, or that I feel like were worth, acknowledging. And as a tour guide, it's more so for people that are not from here, because I feel like Nashville doesn't always get a full representation of what this place is. You have to spend some time here. You got to know somebody from here to actually absorb a lot of it. And so I take you around to quite a few places. I take you to my favorite breakfast spot, which is Meridian Street Cafe. I take you my favorite spot to get a fish sandwich from, Ed's Fish. We go to the Loading Dock, which is a coffee shop. If you come here, you want a good cup of coffee, you don't have to get on the Starbucks app. No knock to them, but for me, when I go to places, I want to experience something that's unique to that place. Like you said, Magic City, you're not gonna get that anywhere but in Atlanta, Georgia. You can go to strip club, but that experience is its own. So the Loading Dock is like very inclusive and of the arts and otherwise, and you get to meet these owners and managers and the people and get a piece of their story in the documentary as well. Cause it's to say, like, what I'm doing musically is unique and is rich, and it comes from here. I take you to Slim and Husky's Pizza. Some childhood friends of mine that started a pizza franchise that's now in like 5 states and on a bunch of campuses and otherwise. I was there at the ground zero level of that.
When they was doing the tastings in that building before they even...
Before that, they had a moving company.
Right, yeah.
And pivoted in business. Yeah. And I remember them, like, when we're going to start a restaurant, we're going to do this pizza restaurant. I remember them bringing pizzas to the studio for us to sample. And 10 years from there, now they got like 11 locations and counting. So you hear from them in a documentary. My favorite bar and chill spot, it's another pizza restaurant. The neighbors at Duco's and Makeshift. This is my Cheers, like the show Cheers, where I go where everybody knows your name, so to say. So showing you all those places. It's a few more businesses that I want to highlight and profile, and I think it would be dope if we go into collectively and even further this story or this narrative that Nashville has a lot to offer and more than what meets the eye. So this documentary, I approached it a little different, as I wanted to tell more stories. I wanted to tell our stories, because much like this, what we're doing together, who better to tell our stories than ourselves? We don't want things to get lost in translation. We don't want them to be mistold. So yeah, the Not the Country overall, I think I'm leaving out. I went to a Keebalon bookstore,
Yeah.
which is on
Oh,
Jefferson
yeah.
Street,
Yeah.
in between the 3 black colleges that are on one street that are within about a mile or so from each other, which is Fisk University, Meharry Medical College, Tennessee State University. I think you had mentioned before, our grandmother actually taught at all 3 of those institutions. And there's a bookstore at the corner in between them, and that was one of the stopping points. We passed by Citizens Bank, the oldest black-owned bank in America. I think 120 years and counting. Am I leaving out any of the stops? I feel like I am.
Them 2 important stops. I keep
Princess Hot
line.
Chicken.
Princess
Princess,
Hatcha,
Yeah.
yeah, the originator.
Yeah.
The original.
Of Nashville hot chicken, you know. And that's how I feel about like my music or, you know, urban music at large. A lot of times people forget the origins of things. By the time people take the recipe and run off with it, revitalize it or whatever, repackage it, fancy it up, you forget where it came from. And a lot of genres of music have that same story. But namely in the documentary, I got a little emotional at a couple of the stops hearing the stories from these founders and owners, because it was so much like my own, like entrepreneurship. And I think you could vouch for this, Los. It looks the same almost regardless of what field you're in, you know, because it requires so much ingenuity, it requires so much perseverance. It requires like
Time, sacrifice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it doesn't just happen. When you're doing it yourself, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
And to hear these several people, and the other thing was family, community, and there was, I think, 3 of the businesses that were second generation.
Yeah.
You know, family owned. And to meet the guys at Ed's Fish, which
Yeah,
I ate there.
Keebalon, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
At least
Keebalon
those two I know
Keebalon
for
was,
sure.
was one of them. But the guys at Ed Fish, I eat there probably twice a week.
One of
Shout
them,
to
one of them go
Charles.
to. He went to East when I
Charles,
talked there,
shout
didn't
to
he?
Charles,
Yeah,
Tony. One of them
Charles.
just bought a house. I just seen it on social media. So shout out to them boys,
Yeah, they
man.
ballin'.
They bought. I mean, I grew up with it.
but it's, you know, keeping it in the family, like
Yeah.
that was inspiring. That's worth hearing. Like I said, I eat that all the time, but to see that it's like, you know, they grandpops, he was sitting in a lawn chair outside with one of
chilling
these
out.
on.
Yeah.
And you know, was just kicking, you know, hollering at him. He's like, man, put that camera up, man. I'm on the run. I'm too old to be going to prison. We joking. I don't want it. That's what he said. I said, nah, the only thing I want is these fish sandwiches. He was like, hey, talk to them. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't like. And I'm like, man, that's cool as hell. You know what I'm saying? To pass something
Pass
down,
that legacy down.
generation,
Yeah.
the legacy piece of it. You know, and like back to the Slim and Husky guys, a group of friends that just put it together, like to take one business venture, parlay it into another one, and then it just catch fire. Same with Ducos and Makeshift, a couple of guys, you know, putting it together and like doing it together. Like I was inspired by all of that for us to arrive here. We've talked about a few different ventures, you know, some creative ideas, and it's like,
Yeah, we're gonna get back to him.
but yeah, so the original, the documentary,
Yeah.
the documentary piece, it was because some of these things I knew, some
Yeah.
of them I learned a lot, you know, in filming a doc, but it's the same thing with the music. You know, me and Bandplay putting our energies together. Like, he been over here being great for a minute, you know. He had a trunk full of plaques he posted on Instagram the other day, about 10 of them, and freshly delivered. You know, for all the critical acclaim and respect and homage that I get, like I said, I'm making some power moves. It's like we're gonna take it somewhere else, putting it together, because you know we splitting the bill on things. We splitting what comes in off of it. But we got 2 teams of people empowering what we doing. It's like him and his folks got some connections over here through the moves they've been making. It's like then oh man, Starlito is like, you know what I'm saying, and we getting twice as many favors in certain regards. We getting twice as far without having to work twice as hard even, and we are working hard as hell. I'm never worked this diligently on no project, and you know I'm confident that the return ain't even a tangible thing. I'm hoping it come in the form of like inspiration or example.
I think one thing it'll probably do is inspire others further, because even talking about Al Kibi line, that story has always resonated with me, because when Jefferson Street was going through some development and revitalization, like the college crib that's behind it, all of that used to look different. And they tried to get Al Kibi line to sell, to look and go in with them, and he wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And now I appreciate, him. He's now passed, and his stepson is running it. But his son, I'm sorry, his son is running it. And so, I can appreciate that, because that's their family's legacy. So I think it's cool that that's included in the documentary, especially since we talk about books so much on here,
Right.
as well. So that's really cool. That's dope.
Yeah, the album is out now. Not the Country You Know. And
it's so, Ed, I didn't think about this until you were just talking. Like, I remember growing up, man, and like whenever we go travel somewhere, people like, man, y'all so damn country, like how we talk. And like thinking about people like, man, you a country ass nigga, you know what I'm saying?
You
And
don't
like,
realize why you in it though.
Nah, like, cause when I moved from Nashville to Georgia, like they first called me Tennessee before they learned my name, because I was so country. And like that's just how how old head coaches are. That's your and so like them like, man, you a country ass nigga, like you just, and like Georgians got a southern drawl, another drawl too. But it's interesting now that I'm like, just the play on words that you did with country, not the country, especially with, like I said, growing up, people calling us like, you a country ass nigga.
I still call people
yeah, we country,
country ass, yeah.
not the country you know.
Yeah.
That's the tagline,
When did you come up with the title?
I don't know exactly when. It was about halfway through the recording process. So, like I said, it was originally called Legendary Status. There was a song that didn't make the cut once we shifted thematically. It was a song called 20-Year Run. We were using it in the promo for one of the concerts we were throwing.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to have celebrated that. Like I said, band played carving out his space in the producer lane and all the traction there. Even just a celebration of my tenure. And I think, I'm like, when you start celebrating shit from the standpoint of like time, then I feel like time started ticking on you. I think it's cool to honor like anniversaries, and I see a lot of 15-year anniversary of Lupe Lazer's, 20-year anniversary of Port of Miami, and I think all that's cool. This is the 20-year anniversary of Starlito's Way 1. I'm gonna celebrate that in its own way, but I think to have called the project that would have been to imply a descent or like coming down the home stretch. And somewhere in all of this, I stopped feeling like that. Like I said, when I look up, I call it what it is in terms of metrics. This Marshmallow placement may be the most prominent thing in terms of audience that I've accomplished in my music career, And for whatever role I played in it, there's that to say, I've been featured on a couple albums that went platinum and otherwise, and gold records and certain spaces, but I'm like, damn, I'm really at the starting blocks. This is my first one, and it's top of the food chain in one regard. So I just started looking at it different. And like I said, for where we are between Bandplay and myself, I'm like, I think there's a different story to tell. We ended up doing a partnership with Empire, which is out of San Francisco. They now have offices in Nashville, I guess largely on the success of Shabuzi, who's an artist under their umbrella. And so they're more aware, and they're like, man, they're looking at like, yeah, you can tell Nashville. We were in a meeting, we were negotiations at the time. It's like, you can tell us a different story from that. Like, you're one of the few people we know that are from there. They got several artists signed, based in Nashville, but almost none of them are from here. So many people move here chasing a dream in music. Well, we started here chasing a dream in music. So, in thinking, getting outside of the box of the concept, I was trying to figure out what kind of project I could make that could span or reach outside of my typical audience base, and as a business person, it's like this still about growing audience.
Right.
I don't think it make as much sense for me to target somebody half my age, like uniquely in this rap lane. Like I love that younger people have their own interests in music, and I'm not competitive in that sense. I feel like what's for them is for them. Just like we like what we like. I think we was talking T.I. and 50 Cent, and we all had attachments to that music because of where we were at that time. I think the same can be said, but I like I believe like I got something in my pen that's got universal appeal. It's for everybody, and so I'm like I want to tell this story because I don't think there's a competitive space for it. I think I can tell a certain story in a certain way that nobody else can. And one of my inspirations for it, honestly, like the namesake came from the movie No Country for Old Men.
My favorite movies. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, you throw it out.
That's a
But
great
I like the
movie,
movie
bro.
a lot too.
Yeah.
But No Country for Old Men because, you know, everybody, like, we're all as young as we'll ever be right now. And so as rap is thought to be it has been thought to be like a young person's game, I'm like, there's certainly rappers older than me still doing their thing. But I started there. I was thinking of some kind of play off of band's brand and mine. And yeah, I arrived there of like what stories there to be told about this place. And I'm like, well, I'm a black artist that's now overlapping into a genre that's majority white. And also, certain commentary. I got certain opinions about the equal opposite of how things might go. So, yeah, I thought it was a little bit, you could interpret it on surface level. The first time I shared it with somebody, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be a political piece. Like you're talking about the country, like America. The America is not the country, the country that you know. And I'm like, nah, I'm talking about like some country shit or like literally where I come from geographically or regionally or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't say that. When I think about that, I automatically think of like Post Malone. He did rap for a little bit, and he segued into country once rap was no longer viable. Same thing with Miley Cyrus. I mean, she was doing a lot of work with Mike Will, and then once that lane dried up, she shifted back to what was comfortable. So I don't think that it's appropriating it, because I feel like the history and the origins, when we talk about country music, like a couple weeks ago we had some guys that came here to ask us questions about a documentary that I was working on that's talking about the history of Nashville, the history of music. And when you learn about the origin of country music or blues, and you understand the foundation comes from black people, and that, specifically in Nashville, people used to come to Nashville to learn how to play certain types of genres of music. And so, like, I look at it like it's kind of reclaiming what's already ours.
Yeah.
And retelling that story to be able to say that, this is just as much ours as it is anybody else's. I don't think that like a Miley Cyrus or a Post Malone could genuinely say that they were connected to the culture of hip hop and rap when they were using it the way that they were using it, the way that you are using the country elements, if you will, or the appearance of it. That's just my own, kind of thought process about it, because I don't look at it like it's appropriating country because you can't appropriate something that's yours.
That you are.
Yeah.
I agree.
And like even in, not to cut you off, like in the documentary, I can remember like Buck was making a comment about the impact that it has, like the impact that you may have, like kind of like the conversation we was having a little bit last week about T.I. and 50 Cent, when we're talking about a purely numerical, if we're putting a quantitative measurement to it, that this quantitative measurement is not the only determining factor of influence and impact. And like I think Buck said, you know, you went platinum in the hood. You know, I think that that's something that is true, and you know, that you can't necessarily quantify what that impact is, but we know that there's a significant impact there. You know, I was just reading an article the other day about how Billboard is not counting La Russell's album metrics because he incentivized his customers to buy. They were able to buy at their own price. And for me, that always comes back to a system that's not designed for us, to where the rules can be changed and manipulated to benefit a certain demographic of individuals and artists, but then it penalizes others for doing the same essential thing. You know what I mean? Like, Taylor Swift may never tell her fans to go stream up, but there are hundreds of Twitter accounts that are fan accounts that are telling her fans to do the same thing. So because there's a separation there, that makes it okay. And because he wants to be authentic and he's connecting with his audience, then he's penalized for it. But I think I mean, that's just one of those things where I think that that's probably some of the traction that's going to be picked up because of the, like, how it's titled, how the product packaging is, which, you know, I think is going to drive more attention to it, and hopefully people will listen to it and learn. Like you said, this isn't the country, you know, the country, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's part of the, I guess you could say, statement. I ain't gonna say it's coded because it's right there in your face. Like, all right, if I had on the same kind of hat that you had on, it doesn't mean I'm not saying anything different. My opinions don't change. It's the man in the clothes, not the clothes on the man or whatever. The same way, but I realize that people are so surface level. You know, most people we know sit and scroll all day. They are consumed by imagery. They're consumed by just what they see. You make a lot of that instantaneous, like, what you see is what you get. They don't really go past surface level. So, and I've already discovered, like, there are certain doors that have instantly opened for me with more or less red carpets rolled out in them, just because I made it more palatable or less rough around the edges or whatever. By and large, like, I'm an artist, and I have not overhauled or changed or too much refined what I'm doing within my art. You know, I've always, like, explored, experiment, tried things. Trial and error is maybe the biggest part of creating. And I got enough experience and enough self-awareness to, like, I know what I want to do, and I'm not afraid to try it. Like, now, like I said, I'm just pooling my resources. I'm just being more tactical and intentional about it. Like, as opposed to me targeting a college student directly, which was once upon a time my target market. You know, when I was a college student when my professional career started. Even 10 years removed from that, I still was connected to that audience. I was performing at colleges still and things like that. I went to a probate the other night at Fisk, and as much as I understood the culture and it was great to be in that space, I realized that my audience was more so the alumni chapter that was there to support the event than the undergrads. Like, I still understand what they doing, but I just feel like I got more to gain. You know, I see an artist like Plies doing a 35 and up with a good job tour. You know what I'm saying? That's such a, like, targeted demographic. In truth, it's the same people that's been rocking with him, you know, but he's really saying, if you've grown with me, he was going affiliated. You know what I'm saying? It goes in his mouth and was, I'm put that yop on you. And now it's like, you got a good job, like, because that's to say you got something to lose, so you ain't finna come and tear the club up and go get the yop out the car afterward. And it's like, that's how it's supposed to be. So I feel like I can make music for a 50-something-year-old white lady. Yeah. Like, what's to stop me from it? I live next door to one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I told you, my
like,
coworker played one of the songs, and she's a 50-year-old white lady, and she enjoyed it.
Right.
She had no idea who you were, and I told her who you were. She was like, "Oh, that's him." Like, yeah, that's him, and she
Yeah.
enjoyed it. You feel me?
And I mean, because one thing I understand is everything I put out there, it ain't going nowhere. Like I am who I am. I was who I was. I'm gonna do my best to become something greater. Something like I should be evolving. I should be trying to change for the better. It's literally the premise of what we doing. Work in progress. Like I'm doing the work to progress. To like we was talking about. Like I am more conscious about things. Like because I got a little one, and otherwise, like like I put out the last single that I put out before the album drop was called "Walk Away," featuring Skis. I co-wrote it with some guys from Big Loud. It's like the biggest indie country label. It's who Morgan Wallen is signed to. And I recorded my vocals to that song with my daughter. Like you can hear her in the background of the song on the last chorus. I skipped a step. When I put the song out, overwhelmingly positive feedback. You know, we're trying to grow the song. Like I ain't even been putting out singles in the past year. It just wasn't even a part of my like rollout. Wasn't part of my business plan. I was anti that from being signed all them years. And like, we need a single. And I'm like, I got to a point. I'm like, man, I ain't fuck a single. Like I'm just gonna put out the music that I feel good about. Okay, now I'm refining the business. So I put the single out, and I say 95%, if not higher, like approval rating from where I can see. It's not my biggest single at this point, and we talked about this, how the negative comments stick out. You know what I'm saying? And somebody was like, man, I rock with everything you do. I love what you do, but you know, respectfully, this ain't it. I ain't being a hater, but we won't, you know, whatever he described, I can't remember the terms. I didn't really understand what he was describing that he wanted. But, you know, it wasn't disrespectful. It was an opinion. I didn't take offense or anything to it. And I was like, well, if you love everything that I do, why don't you express that when you love it? You know what I'm saying? Because I got 1,000 songs in the marketplace. Maybe he's commenting on other stuff, but I feel like you went out of your way to express that you don't like this, and that's fine. And I don't have a problem with you sharing that opinion. But I also said, I was like, but you know what? My daughter loves this song.
Yeah.
And that just to me means that much more than someone that, and that's not to like, I appreciate that he been rocking with me and to love the rest of what I do.
Right.
I'm like, I'm okay if this one ain't for you, because I did a double album. So I feel like there's bound to be tons of things there that are still for him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm doing something else. I'm trying different things. And I love that a 7-year-old on first listen, when I'm going to do an overdub, she know the words. You know what I'm saying? It's programmable, it's clean, it's wholesome. Back to the advice grandmama gave me, like, rap about love, you'll be able to do this forever. She told me that at like 18, 19 years old, bro, and it is like, it's just not coming to fruition. It's just now like, I got 3 singles about love. Like, I'm more comfortable in that space as a writer. And it's like, man, you know, not to appear like self-righteous or for it to come across as like, I think it's self-awareness. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, and it's not, the success or fail is not metrics driven. Like, yes, I'm a business person, and I'm gonna be as crafty as I can. I'm gonna be as efficient. I'm gonna be as resourceful. But man, I don't give a damn. Like, ultimately, like, nobody. I don't care about no plaque or no certification, because I think if it's due for me, it'll come. I'm planting the seeds for it to, you know. I've already overachieved, and that approval rating of like you said, that coworker that probably never would have maybe met my music in any other context than this type of song, man, they might make their way to the whole album and discover they like rap more than they could have imagined because it was dressed up this way. So I feel like, no, it's not appropriation, like, because I'm doing it tactfully. I'm doing it intentionally. I'm doing it with some awareness, some education. You know, a lot of people in them positions it's somebody else playing puppet master. You know, that's one thing. Like, nobody's making me do this shit. Like, let's be clear. Like, I went in the store. I'm going to that store. What's the name of the store?
GG Pip.
I'm
Hat
going there and to patronize because I want to. Because there's been quite a few females that tell me that I look good in the boots. And
Yeah, you like the look. New boot
I
scoop.
might need to try it then.
I mean, but at the
Howdy.
end of the day, you know, I am who I am, and it's like I'm doing this, like, and it ain't that, like you said, some of them they've exhausted. They went to the well enough times when and it's like, oh, this ain't working no more. All right, let's do something else. Nah, it ain't that. I still love doing the other stuff. I got a strong concept that's super rooted for my next solo project. You know,
forward to that too.
and right, I'm gonna do all that too, but I'm charged up though.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm charged up with like creative energy, and I gotta do something with it. Like the best I can do is share it, is release, not bottle it up. So yeah, I'm like it's the opposite. It's reappropriation. It's let's overcorrect some of what's out there, and also it's not even on no contrarian type of time. It's just. I don't want to say it's making right of what's wrong. I ain't even tripping about it. It's just like, why can't I?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what? It's just a matter of, like, how you perceive it. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
I'm with it. I'm excited. You see, I got my hat. We gotta get everybody hats.
I got a
Next
little
time.
St. Patty's.
Yeah, a little St.
But I need to
Patty's,
get a hat like I need to get a true brand.
I got another one. I got one for you.
We popping out. I'm popping out like this with my Jordans on. I ain't got my boots yet. The boots I want the cowboy boots with the Air Forces at the bottom. Have you seen them yet?
Nah, I ain't seen them.
Them fire. We gonna put them on the screen. 0381 or something.
Vegan leather
They need
boots,
to
man.
come clean.
Yeah, we gonna get some of them.
Vegan
We'll get them
leather.
all
I need
for
some
the
vegan
squad.
leather.
What is vegan leather, bro?
Man, they got pineapple leather, they got grape leather, they got all that type. Look it up, bro. That shit cool.
All right, y'all.
Nah, for real, that ass.
Somebody just sent me some oxtails that was actually jackfruit today.
I ain't with that. I ain't with
either. I
that.
don't do
You
that.
do the replacement. Y'all do
I'm not
that.
doing
Yeah,
no
but that's
oxtail
too
sauce.
much.
That's too
Right.
much, bro. I'm
That's
not
too
doing
much.
that.
That's
I
a
ain't
lot
eating
of-
I ain't eating fake ass,
Y'all
fake
eat
animal ass.
replacement.
No
real
fake
animal ass.
chitlins,
Not
no
doing it.
none of
Not
that.
doing
What
that.
was that burger you was making earlier?
I made that.
You
was
made some
that-
potatoes or something
earlier
earlier.
today. I made a crab cake. That was a fake crab.
That's
cake.
what I'm saying. It was not crab.
But it's made out of hearts of palm. That's a plant.
You made a hearts of palm cake.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool,
just
but I'm not gonna eat no fake
What's the
animal
difference
ass,
between
bro.
the
I'm not doing
jackfruit
that.
oxtails and the hearts of palm crab cake?
is good, but the oxtails, I ain't never really have oxtails growing up to
I ain't have
want to
oxtails
crave.
either.
So you don't have a reference point, but you had a crab cake,
Yeah.
and you feel like the hearts of palm was
do, it
It
similar.
mirrors
do,
it.
yeah,
It mirrors
it
it.
do.
Man, we're going to have to make... Look,
Nah,
Chad.
you gotta win a race first.
You got to win a race, bro. We're going to do a vegan challenge on here. We're going to bring in some vegan food, get everybody to taste it, see what it's like. They be acting like tasting vegan food going to kill them. They done had
Nah.
way worse...
Trust me.
I've had some vegan food.
Eating ox ass is crazy, so I think you should eat some.
I've tried some vegan food. I'm saying I'm not a fan of the delusional stuff.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
stuff
we
that's
ain't-
like
we
just
ain't
give,
either.
just
we
tell
plant,
me what
we
it is.
really
If I'm-
plant based, but we do. Nashville don't really have a lot of options, so a lot of
But I'm
times you
saying,
gotta cook.
Nah, I'm
Don't
saying
tell me
don't
it's
call
a-
it. It's
Don't
Yeah,
call
just
it
give me a
crab
salad
cake.
Don't call
with
it-
beans and corn
Just
and
call
stuff.
it
Don't
what
say
it
it's a
is.
burger. Ain't no damn
Just
burger.
tell me the
Like,
vegetable
That's
it
a
is.
corn salad. That's a taco salad.
That's cool. That's what I'm saying. Let's just call
Guess
it what
you
it
don't want none of
is.
my chicken fried oyster
No.
mushroom.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I mean, but don't say it's man. It's fried chicken and it's fucking soy
I
on
can
the.
get with that.
All right, man. Subscribers,
with that.
subscribe, man. Put a W in the chat if
I
you
would get
rocking
it.
with us.
Vegan
I-
slander.
Yeah, that vegan slander. I can't stand it. I can't go for it. Anyway, man, what you working on, Jimmy? What you got coming on, my vegan brother? We must confuse
I don't
the.
know what I'm working on right now. I'm just maintaining, man. Just trying to, like I said, back in the gym, working hard, trying to prepare for the next race in April. I'm taking that dead ass serious. Like I said, this last one I didn't take serious at all. So I'm
So we are doing April.
April 25th. Yeah,
Have you looked up the sign up information?
it don't matter. It's
What's
expensive.
wrong? It's a lot. It's expensive.
It's $109.
Yes, nigga. It's
but
because it's St. Jude's. It's like a big deal.
tax write off, nigga.
True.
So you know what I mean. But yeah, nah, that's,
Okay.
I'm in the gym and like I said, still in the, studying the stock market, trying to master that so I can, retire earlier than I plan on. So yeah.
I need to tap in with you on that.
Yeah.
We used to have them conversations damn near every day, boy.
Yeah. I got off. I started flipping my money another way, but I'm back in the stock market now.
This boy crazy.
So
What you working on, Shute? What you got in mind?
Man. I got a few hearings coming up.
Word.
I got a hearing tomorrow, so I'm gonna be up all night. But I need to finish that book. I ain't picked up that book in like 2 weeks. That with the Malcolm Gladwell book.
Yeah. Same.
I'm almost finished with mine.
So I think I'm gonna knock that out. I only got a couple more chapters to go, maybe 1 or 2, and then we can rotate that because it is almost the end of the first quarter of the
Right,
year.
right.
So we need to make that
Catching
happen.
up to do.
Knock over there to Jimmy about that.
nah, that's gonna be done by this week. You ain't worry about me.
I saw your face. You see his face.
Los ain't watched the documentary.
He ain't watched the documentary. He ain't read the book. He ain't
Nigga
watched
just
it.
making jackfruit, pineapple, tortilla crab cake with the hearts of palm.
In my own little world,
And aloe.
guys. What you working on, Slim?
I'm writing some things with my daughter. She's been in between writing some stories, children's book. She's been structuring like plays. She's probably right at this moment on Broadway in New York watching Hamilton.
That's dope.
Some of these commitments I had didn't allow for me to travel with her, but she's having a great time up there. And she's been writing plays in like the proper format and learning.
I need to get up with my daughter. She's up there at Fordham for theater.
That's right.
She's big in that shit.
Didn't she was on the news last year for doing the play, writing the play, wasn't she?
Nah, she heavy.
Yeah, we gotta get them together.
She in New York right now with it.
So directly, I'm working with Alani on writing some children's literature and structuring like things on the performance art thing. She's learning more about that. I'm educating myself at the same time, so that's kind of my thing. She's on the spring break right at the moment, but we mapping some things out for the summer, and hopefully by her birthday we're gonna get something published.
That's what's up.
In the way of children. That's been something that's kind of I wanted to do on my own since she was born, and now that she's taken to it, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say forcing my hand, but it's like I enjoy working with her on things because I end up learning so much about myself and the processes. Try to teach her how to type. That's gonna be the next thing too, because
She gonna be doing that voice when they be
she do that,
when they be
yeah.
talking to each other. I'm like,
Texting.
each other. They be saying everything voice to type.
Milan be sending out them emojis and
Bruh,
stuff.
that
She
shit
got
be
in
so
the family
funny.
group text the other day going crazy.
Yeah.
It's all kind of chocolate ice cream.
And the
emojis.
devil emoji, bro.
And the chocolate ice cream that ain't really chocolate ice cream. Yeah, I was tripping. But yeah, that's obviously this album stuff, the album rollout. Like I said, we're going to Jamaica to shoot a video. That's gonna be fun. We sampled the Bonnie and Shine record, and on God Mode, and lead a country that for to work, play all at the same time.
Walk with my brethren in Jamaica, the yard boy.
We should went out over.
That would have been fun.
And I'm
a
working
nice
on
trip.
my next album. That's the other thing. I'm probably 60% done with my next solo album. So
What's up?
trying to heat this thing up so I can hit that road late summer, early fall. So mapping it out, and I'm just on go. And trying not to work too hard, work steadily.
That's what you said last when you was overworking. You ain't trying to overwork yourself. So I feel you, my brother, and that's what's up, man. So
What about you?
man, I'm working on just being a better human. That's what I'm gonna work on. Just being a better human. I appreciate everybody that allows me to be me and give me grace. So appreciate y'all out there. Hey, subscribers, people in the chat, Work in Progress crew. Appreciate y'all tuning in every show. Appreciate the love. Make sure you tune in. Not the country you know. This episode was sponsored by You don't know it. He don't know it, but we know it. Make sure you go get the album. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you go listen. Stream that thing 1,000,000 times. Send it to somebody you love. Send it to somebody you don't love. Maybe they both could connect. Subscribers, keep subscribing. If you like this episode, subscribe right now. Hit us with a chat. Hit us something in the chat.
Dubs in the chat.
Dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat, man. We really appreciate y'all over here. I'm country as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's not the country you know. Fellas, you gonna say goodnight?
Peace.
Peace.
Not the country you know.